And welcome everybody to Counsel's Corner, sponsored by Ziff Law Firm, joined this week by Mike Brown, an attorney with Ziff. And Mike, this week we're talking about a change regarding insurance coverage. It's something you may have been notified of, but it's as a result of a change in a state law. So why don't you tell us about it and what people really need to know?
Absolutely. So there was a new law that went into effect on August 1st. This law pertains to the spousal liability coverage insurance on auto policies. Now, people may have, or policyholders may have received notification from their insurance company regarding this change. And that notification would have been essentially advising you of the change, that this type of coverage is now opt out rather than opt in. So what that means is you automatically have this coverage now unless you don't want to. And in order to opt out, you'd have to sign some sort of declaration or declination form and submit that to your insurance carrier. So essentially, though, a hypothetical to kind of to show you what this coverage is, if you're driving down the road with your spouse, either husband or wife is driving and the other's in the passenger seat, if you were to kind of rear end somebody and the spouse in the passenger seat, has a concussion, broken arm or something like that, you would be able to receive compensation through your policy, essentially a claim against the spouse, but it's an important safety net for you and your family financially. So it is something that you want to consider. It is now part of your policy, whether you like it or not. So there are a couple things you have to do. I would go back, try and find that correspondence maybe from your carrier and decide if you need this coverage or not. If you need the coverage, you don't have to take any action. It's there. Your premiums will be increased, but just be aware of it in the event that something does happen. If you choose to opt out, you will have to fill out that declination form I referenced and submit that back to your insurance company. And oddly enough, even if you don't have a spouse, you will have to still sign that declination form and send it back. So keep that in mind. Everyone will have to do that, even if you don't have a spouse. The reason this really went into effect was because you spend a lot of time in your vehicle with your spouse. So, it's more likely that if something were to happen, you're going to be with your spouse. And again, a lot of people didn't know about this type of coverage. The agent may not advise them of it. So again, it's something to be aware of. It's now part of your policy. Your premiums will increase. And again, unless you choose to opt out, decline this coverage, or if you just don't need it because you don't have a spouse. So keep these things in mind. Maybe speak with your insurance carrier if you have any questions, or your agent.
Okay, well, that is good to know. I think there's probably a lot of people out there like me. You get something from the insurance company and I don't always open it right away.
Right.
So important just to be aware of those things. And I find it interesting that since you said it's an automatic change, that it would affect you even if you don't have a spouse. So it's important to make sure that you fill out that form if you do want to opt out, especially when it comes to making changes to the premiums that people pay.
Yeah, some people may be tipped off by the increase in premium, and that may be the first indication that something has changed. So take a look at your policy.
Okay. And of course, reach out to your insurance agent if you have any questions. But Mike, thank you so much for educating us on this change and what people need to know and what they should look out for.
Absolutely. Thank you.